That went well, didn't it? Oh. Not very elegant, I'm outside the tent. How do, folks? 1st of October 2021. I've said White Rabbit and I'm on a wild camp again. I've only got a small window and the weather forecast pretty poor really. It's been torrential rain these past few days, torrential rain tomorrow. There's a little gap this afternoon and through the night, if the forecast is correct, and I've taken that as a window of opportunity to get out. I'm on the northeastern side of the Peak District and I'm camping somewhere where I camped last year. It's about an half-hour's drive from home to the start point. It's a pretty straightforward walk, although I am going to be camping just below 2,000 feet. But yeah, it's quite a straightforward walk. I'm hopeful that it's going to offer me a bit of shelter out of this strong wind. If I get there and it doesn't, then I'm going to have to look for somewhere else a little bit lower. If it all goes horribly wrong, I'm not too far back to the car. I can always abandon and head back home. Right, I've got options here. I can either carry on along this track and join the Pennine Way, which is a pretty straightforward route to the top of Black Hill, or I could go up into Issue Clough and have a look at the nice waterfall. And at the moment, I think I'm going to go the Issue Clough way, and it's also a place where I'm guaranteed to get water. I need to get some water. This is a big waterfall in Issue Clough. And unlike last time, there's plenty of water coming over it. Much more impressive. We're almost running dry when I come last year. The weather conditions are doing me head in a bit really. Sort of showers, sunshine, putting waterproofs on, taking them off. Let's hope for a prolonged clear spell now while I get to the top. Right, I need to get some water as well, so I'm going to do that. And then we'll carry on up. Okay, I'm on the summit of Black Hill. There's been one or two people up here, but everybody's gone now. The sun's out and it looks like we've got a bit of a lull in the showers, so I'll switch to the better camera and hopefully I can keep it dry. I'm going to just kill a bit of time up here, it's far too early to camp, and then I'm going to have an amble across country over to where I'm going to pitch the tent tonight. It's going to be a quiet place, so I'm going well off the beaten track, but yeah, I don't want to pitch up too early. It's quite a nice view now. I can see Bleaklow, I can see Kinder. A bit darker further north near my local hills, but yeah, looking south's not too bad. I'll tell you what, these flagstones make walking on Black Hill much easier than it used to be. I mean, now it's quite a grassy top, but When I first came up here in the late 1980s, early 1990s, it was just naked black peat. There was no vegetation. It was like the Somme. Getting to the trig point after wet weather, what an ordeal that was. But now, thanks to like footpath restoration work, the excellent work done by an organisation called Moors for the Future, re-wetting the moors, planting sphagnum. No, it's a remarkable transformation up here nowadays. So much better. I've not picked a very good spot here really. I've kind of gone in a bit of a dip to get some shelter, but just here there's a channel and it's got surface water. I'm okay just about. I think I'm on a slight rise, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to sleep on the far side of the tent tonight, 'cause it's definitely a little bit higher there. Like I said, there's a slight slope here. Yeah, the ground's very wet after all the rain we've had. I don't know whether you've noticed, but I've got some new leather boots on today. The Altbergs. Now, big clumpy leather boots are not my cup of tea really. But after the last ones, got a big hole in them after not very much use really. I've bought some heavy duty ones for winter. Not heavy duty, but heavier than I'm used to. Anyway, I've been squelching through bogs and all sorts today, and my feet are bone dry, so I'm quite pleased with how these are going. Just a winter boot really. I'll go back to my trail runners in the summer. Yeah, I've got my winter sleeping bag today. It's getting that time of the year. There's a real autumnal feel in the air today. The bracken's going all sort of rusty brown now, and the leaves dropping off the windbreeze and stuff. Blade of grass in my brew. Other strange floating organisms. Oh, that's nice. I've got a little mini roll as well. Looking skyward, I'm in a proper clear window. The wind's dropped off a little bit. Who knows, I might even get a few stars tonight. It's still looking dodgy up my end, over on my moors up there. Definitely worse to the north. Just to give the tent a little bit more stability, I use my walking sticks and tie a guy line from one of the loops on the back here. But sometimes I forget I've done it, and every now and again at the corner of my eye I'll see like a the silhouette of a creepy man. And it's the handles of these poles, but they always catch me out. Do you know what though, to say it's first day of October and there's quite a chill in the air. When I was leaving the village down there in the car, there were still swallows knocking about. And with the weather we've had this week, it can't be much fun for them. They need to be getting on the way. And just down here on one of the fence posts, I've seen it a couple of times, so it must be hanging about. There's been a wheat here, another bird that should be migrating south. I'm in for a cold night up here. I'm glad I brought my gloves. I've got another little new luxury for tonight, which I'll show you later. Geographically speaking, Black Hill is the highest point on Saddleworth Moor, and I'm located on the eastern side of Saddleworth Moor, overlooking sort of the Unfirth area. And if you're going by the proper county boundaries, Black Hill is the highest point in Cheshire. I think it's 582 metres. In Wainwright's Pennine Companion in feet, I think he says it's 1,908. So it's not as high as Kinder Bleaklow, but I think that puts it the third highest in the Peak District. And it's not an hill when the weather's rough to be trifled with, really. I've had some grim old times up here, some bad weather, wet weather, misty weather. But tonight, it's cool, but it's really quite pleasant. Very dark and moody to the north though. It's nearly time for tea and I'm on Chicken's Heart tonight. Chicken's ticker. That's one of my Uncle Selwyn's old jokes. I'm going to have this one first. Divide and conquer. I mentioned earlier that I had a luxury item for winter nights. And what it is, it's a pair of like down booties. I really suffer from the cold, my feet and the extremities especially, my nose and that. And I normally just put hand warmers down my socks, which do work a treat, but they do seem a little bit wasteful. I don't know what sort of chemicals are in them. There's a plastic wrapper that comes with them. I thought I could do with something a little bit more sustainable. Although these these down boots weren't very expensive, and I kind of wonder about the ethics of these really. I'm sort of haunted by the screaming quacks of ducks that were brutalised to make these booties. I do try to be an ethical shopper, but I don't always get it right. It is getting quite windy. It's definitely getting up. I don't know what the gusts are. It's gustier than it were before when I recorded it at 25 mile an hour. I don't know, 30 plus maybe. Anyway, it's getting quite late now, so I'm just going to suck my second can, do a bit of reading, then I'll call it quits for tonight. Anyway, good night, and I'll speak to you in the morning. Morning folks, it's 20 past 6. You can tell what the weather's doing. It's not been a bad night really in terms of sleep. I slept pretty well. Nodded off about 11ish, woke up after 1. Got to sleep again, woke up about 3ish. And I've slept okay until now really. Definitely one of my better nights sleeping at 10. It has been blowy though. Every time I woke up the tent was shaking. And the rain's come on probably in the last half hour. It's going to be a miserable pack down. I'm not looking forward to it one bit. But I'm going to have some breakfast and a brew. And I'll just have to get sorted the best I can, won't I? I'm going to don all my full wet weather gear. And I've got a pretty straightforward stroll back into home where I parked the car. And I'm going to go back a slightly different way as well. I'm not going to retrace my steps. I think it's a shorter way, if anything. Right, I'll speak to you again before I'm done. And there we have it. No trace left. Time to get going. Just had a little bit of an interesting wildlife observation. On the top I saw a mountain hare. It was still in its summer pelage, i.e. its brown coat. Anyway, I've just descended a little bit more and I've just encountered two brown hares. So I'm right on the interface between the two animals. There are very, very rare instances of interbreeding between the two, but generally, no, it doesn't happen. I'm pretty sure I've read somewhere that just in an odd instance it has happened. Could be wrong about that. I'll read up on that when I get home. So yeah, I'm quite pleased to see them side by side. Yeah, so that's it for this one. I've really enjoyed it up on Black Hill. It's been a rough old night and a rough old morning. Packing down these sort of conditions is always a challenge. But I have a real soft spot for Black Hill. It's an hill I've been coming to for many years. And after Blackstone Edge, it's probably the hill I've done the most. I'm well into double figures. It's not as dramatic as Kinder or Pleaklow, but I don't know, it has a certain more subtle charm about it. I've also clocked another decent camp spot on the way down, which is one to bear in mind for the future. Right, so I'll bid you farewell and I'll see you next time. Look after yourselves and thanks for watching.